Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode. I'm sorry I'm late, by the way. I really apologize, but we have a very good stream. Okay, so I'm going to make up for it with today's amazing stream. We're talking about some news. There's some news, a little bit of news. There is some nice price action. So we're going to be looking at the charts. Okay, I know you guys all want to see the charts today. And a lot of people are speculating that the bottom is in. So we're going to be covering that because there was some very nice price action and there was a capitulation like behavior on Twitter. Okay. A lot of fighting, a lot of negativity, and a lot of all those kinds of things. So we're going to be talking about that. We're not going to be talking about the fighting, but we're going to be talking about whether or not there's the bottom is in, whether or not there's more pain to go, or maybe it's no pain, only gains. So smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm sure you all are already subscribed if you're watching, but just in case YouTube unsubscribe for whatever reason, go hit that button. If you did not turn the bell notification on, considering taking your subscription to the next level, it's free of charge. Just turn on the bell notification. You'll get notified every time I go live and every time I post a video. How could you not want that? So turn on the bell notification. What's going on in the chat? See, everyone's very excited for today's stream. What's going on? Bob Stutz. Bob is a patron. Big shout out to Bob. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning. Metastang, also a patron. Big shout out to you. What's up? Grayscale beats SEC. Did they? What? Let me see. Grayscale. Okay, that's breaking news. Okay, maybe we'll take a look at that. Oh, there was also an article from CoinDesk saying why I don't feel bad for HEX founder Richard Hart's victims. So maybe we'll take a look at that as well, because one of my patrons actually sent that to me, and that was something that a lot of people are seeing and a lot of people are using to legitimize this narrative that Richard Hart is a scammer, which obviously is not true and is unproven, or at least we could say it's unproven. And to my knowledge and to everyone's knowledge, it's not true. So maybe we'll take a look at that. Maybe we'll take a look at that tomorrow, though, because we have the Grayscale SEC thing, which matters a lot because that could set precedent for the Richard Hart trial on November 28th. So maybe we'll take a look at that. But yeah, thanks for letting me know, Metastang. What's up, Mike? Mike also, it's patron. I appreciate you. Mr. Yo-Yo, it's bottom when Furu is late. Yeah. Well, then the bottom happened already. Yeah. What's up, Valiant Loki? 2 spoons. Yeah. M Daddy, what's up? No bottom, but signs of life are good. Miguel, you don't have a job. You don't have job. This is my job. What's up, Rigmar? Crypto military vet. Big shout out to our veterans. Everything pumped due to Bitcoin. Bitcoin dumps again, and HEX will have a new bottom. No new money into HEX, so it's just following Bitcoin. Well, that's not true, because when you had the SEC announcement, HEX took a major nosedive and Bitcoin did not. That was a decorrelation. That's not necessarily true anymore, especially because HEX is just a lot more oversold. It could be true. It could not be true. You know what also could be true? Well, it seems like it is confirmed that Bitcoin has bottomed. So it could be that Bitcoin runs up to like 30,000, 40,000 and HEX goes to a couple pennies and even if it dumps, it'll still have bottomed. You know, that's also possible. So we have to consider all the scenarios, but that is definitely a possible scenario. And that's what we're going to be covering in today's stream. What's up, Ash? Big shout out to Ash. Hex Fetty, what's going on? Triple the Mogul. Price prediction. Well, we did price predictions a while back, and obviously it didn't factor in the bearish news of the SEC. So maybe we'll have to do another price prediction video. At the time of the price prediction, we had price prediction was, I think, a little under $10, but maybe we could change that because we had the SEC thing. But I think we're definitely, in my opinion, I definitely think, and this is not financial advice, and all you have to do your own research, okay? I think that this bull market, we're going to be counting hex in pennies, in dollars instead of pennies. So that's what I think. But, you know, a lot of people think otherwise. It has gone as high as 50 cents in its first cycle. I think we're going to be in the dollars in its second cycle. He's thinking about getting in on sale. Big shout out to him on Instagram. We were doing some Instagram lives. Me and Triple the Mogul were doing some great Instagram lives, and he's looks like he's warming up to Hex, which is cool. But yeah. Crypto X says, I think the market has been beaten bloody, baseball bats to kneecaps. All that's left is a shallow grave and ridden with bullet holes. Wall. So I guess you're on the bottom side. That's interesting. I mean, it could always go lower. It could always go lower. It could go to zero. Maybe it can't go to zero, but it could always add a zero, which will make your bag go to zero. I mean, that's just how it is. That's risk. That's risk. We're above 1 penny right now since 2 weeks. Well, we're going to get into all that and more. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let's take a look at the charts. Look at that. We just broke above 1 penny. So it looks like my support has held. It's held the support. So now we have a trend line to work with, right? What's his name? What's that guy's name? Waters Above said there's no support. You know, I said we're in floor discovery. And finally, it looks like now we have some semblance of support. And that's obviously this line right here at 5.005, half a penny. And then the first candle. That's our trend line. But now we're finally above 1 penny. Let's see if 1 penny holds, okay? We have to see if it holds in order to know if it holds. We need to see if it goes up in order to know if it goes up. That's what every technical analyst tells you. It sort of doesn't really tell you anything, but they get to tell you something without telling you something. So right now, 1029. Maybe the penny mark we could say is like Bitcoin's 30,000, where it just was there for a while and then it got sold down. It couldn't really hold above it. But I don't know. It might not be. Maybe we go back up all the way to 4 pennies. That would be nice because all you guys that have been dollar cost averaging will be sitting pretty nice right now. If we go up to 4 cents, you might have more money in crypto than you did in all of the previous bull market, which is pretty crazy. But right now we're above 1 penny. And I guess we could get into the story of whether or not it's the bottom is in is dependent on the news. I think everything got priced in right now. Everything got priced in as far as the SEC lawsuit, as far as the civil charges, right? It's all priced in. And maybe some people are waiting to exit at a penny, 2 pennies, 3 pennies just to get out. But if it goes back down, they're probably not going to sell much lower than this, or maybe even higher than this. in this bottom at like half a penny, because if they would sell then, they'd sell right now. So I feel like it's all priced in. You know, all the news is priced in, and obviously we're very deep into the bear market. People even argue that Bitcoin and Ethereum have already started the bull, and the performance based on this year could validate that. But I think markets are forward looking and everything's priced in. The question is, though, is if there's more news to drop. So if there will be criminal charges, that could really make even a lower low. And if there's maybe bad news in the court case, I don't know. More bad news for crypto, even in general. I mean, that could force it into a lower low. But if things go smoothly, then I think we could be seeing this could be the bottom. The bottom usually happens when people least expect it. And I think if this was it, then I guess maybe you could say it was when people least expected it. Because I remember the dialect on Twitter, really the conversation on Twitter, and like the most widely believed opinion was we were going to add another zero. We were going for lower. And mainstream, forget it. Everyone just wrote it off. So they're not necessarily wrong. We still need more upside, but I think that based on everything that we're seeing now, the bottom would be in. I don't think we'd be headed lower based on all this news, but it's really going to depend on what happens if there's more charges, how Richard handles the charges, and all those kinds of things, which is going to be very interesting. November 28th is the date to watch. Has he been served? I don't know. We don't know any of that. How does the SEC approach it? It's all going to be very interesting, and all those are going to have major impacts on the price. So just to simply look at the chart and come to a conclusion makes it's ridiculous. It's a low IQ thing to do, in my opinion, because when in the charts did you see the SEC lawsuit dropping? You didn't. There was no pattern to tell you that an SEC lawsuit was going to happen. And according to most chartists, the bottom was in, right? According to most chartists, the bottom was in. According to most even highly respected people in the space, the bottom was in, because nobody saw this coming. And then it came out of left field, and obviously that sparked a great panic to the whales and stuff like that. And I hope you guys were dollar cost averaging. I know I was. You guys could track my trades and buy, sells, what exactly, and everything like that. That's all on the Patreon. Be sure to get in there. But I have been putting in some nice buys, and I was able to catch the bottom. That was the bottom. Only reason I was able to do that is because I've been dollar cost averaging. Those who do not dollar cost average, those who buy dips and been around for the past 2 years, are probably out of dry powder, unless they have good sufficient income and stuff like that, because there were so many dips. Everyone thought that like 20 cents was the bottom. I remember Richard said 20 cents was the bottom after it went up to 50 cents. And like everyone that bought it, it went back up to like 35, and everyone's like, yeah, this is for sure it, you know. To everyone that got in at 20 cents, congratulations. You know, we're headed up higher. And then it hung around in the 30s for a while, and then it went down into the teens. And everyone that bought in the teens, you know, there was that big Godwell buy, and everyone's like, congratulations. It went back up to the 20s. And then some people thought, screw it, I missed the bottom. Let me just put all my dry powder in now. And then it went down to 10 cents, and everyone thought that was the bottom. And then like it went all the way down to like 5, and then up to 20, and everyone thought that was the bottom. And like if you're buying all those dips, you're probably out. But if you're on a strict DCA thing, DCA schedule, factoring in your future income that you've been earning from your job or your business, whatever, you know, you have more powder, and you're getting in this low. And we're all long here, man. I mean, I'm long this ecosystem. I think if you're still here, you're long this ecosystem. So you probably want to get in now. I mean, in my opinion, I want to get in now, and I have been getting in now. But the only way to really do that is dollar cost averaging. I mean, that's the only way you could do it. And that was the short I released today, that I'm getting a house's worth of HEX for, I'm getting what was $400,000 for 250,000 hex. It's now $2,500 for that. At the bottom, it was about $1,200 or something to get a freaking house's worth of hex. That's crazy. That's crazy. But hey, are any of you guys selling your houses? Are any of you guys selling your houses and cars and watches and stuff like that? No, none of you guys are doing that. None of you guys are selling anything. All of you guys are waiting for lower prices. And that is greed. That is greed. And I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm not a financial advisor, but if you believe it's going up, but you're just waiting for lower prices because you want to get a better thing, when it's this low, when it's down like 99% from when everyone was selling their cars, you saw it. You guys saw it on Twitter and whatever. People saying, I'm selling this, I'm selling that, I'm going to take out some loans, I'm digging into my daughter's college fund. I'm digging into my daughter's college fund to sacrifice for PulseX. You know, people were all doing that, but now you guys want your lower prices. You guys were at half a penny asking for your lower prices, and this is what tends to happen. But that's not a bottom confirmation. We have to see what happens in the broader crypto market. We have to see what happens following this SEC lawsuit. But I think this time of uncertainty is when I want to be averaging in, and I'm very happy to say that I have been averaging in. So that's really cool, and it's just nice to see we're not completely wrecked. We've erased. Looking at this chart right here, we've erased, let's see, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 days. So that's about 3 weeks of negative price action to the downside. We've done that in like a matter of 2 days or something. 2 days, you've erased 3 weeks of losses, which is nice. It's nice, but honestly, I'm not getting too excited yet. I'm not getting too excited. But you see how these lower prices are getting normalized. Like, it's not, it used to be like 4 cents was low, and now if we're at 4 cents, people would all be celebrating. But yeah, do I think the bottom is in? I think based on the current news, it should be in, but we have to see what happens. We have to see what happens, folks. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and now we could look at the other charts that we have here. We have the PLS chart, which is at 444, also up, not up quite nearly as much. And it's break even for whale bonus multipliers. Right now we're at break even for whale bonus multipliers on PLS, and that's lame. After all this pain, we're break even for whale bonus multipliers. So that's why I'm not buying as much PLS, but I'm still buying some, and I keep going through this. So we look at PulseX. PulseX, it's up a little bit. We got the zero back. We were at 5 zeros. I think we're back to 4. So that's nice to see, but definitely we got ways to go. We're still in that whatever. We're still in that time period to wash out the weak hands. That's really what's happening. And that's what we're seeing with Pulse and PulseX. Okay, gopulse.com. Look at the numbers, guys. What's our biggest gainer on the day? HEX, 21%. HEX is almost doubling this, almost doubling Pulse and INC. And it's considerably ahead of PulseX, which is number 2 at 16.6. So that's what you got there. And I don't have to explain why I've been repeating. I've been having this on replay every single stream. But that's your burn number, 382 billion, and that's your numbers there. Let's go to the HEX daily stats. Let's see what's going on there. Oh. Whoa, negative 13 change in current miners on Ethereum. Positive 7, added 7 current holders. Look at this. Look at this. I don't want to focus too much on the EHEX stuff, but you guys know where I stand. And we added 1 and 0 change in current holders. But this is yesterday's numbers. I'm sure it's going to be a lot better tomorrow, considering the price action today. But yeah, a lot whiter, a lot less red. But yeah, that's your numbers, folks. It's time to take a look at the chat and see what you guys are saying. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out the Patreon and all those stuff. What's up, Crypto Bigfoot? What's up, Metopian? Roughly down 95% on PulseX. I'm sorry to hear, man. We're all down. Go to every crypto community. We're all down, man. It's a tough thing. What's up, Rigmar? INC. Harvey Diaz. Crypto 7 crying about not being promoted. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that wasn't so pretty. And he said he's not going to be a HEX streamer anymore. I mean, he's had it with the community, which is very sad, I guess. I know a lot of people like him, and he's definitely got some redeeming qualities, but at the same time, he's been like taking a lot of shots at people. And the people he's been attacking are very nice people, like people that have no issues with anyone in the community. They're not like controversial people. You know, like nobody really has a problem with RH Max. I mean, if you have a problem with RH Max, you're probably the problem. And same thing with DJ Cryptomatic and stuff like that. So I don't know exactly the details of what happened, but it was sad to see. It would have been nice if it could have been resolved privately, and it's going to be interesting. I don't know, but Crypto 7, yeah, I don't know. It's been having a rough time, so it is what it is. Oh, what's up, Chad Donnerschwans? What's going on? Let's get into maybe some of the stuff. I didn't prepare much, but let's get into the Grayscale winning the SEC lawsuit. So this is important because there's something in the legal community called precedent. So rulings of previous cases can be used to determine the outcome of ongoing trials. So any favorable ruling in crypto is very advantageous for HEX's trial, right? So people speculate that Richard, and I have no idea if this is true, but he's avoiding getting subpoenaed or getting served or whatever because he's waiting for precedent. So maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Could be he's just unaware. It could be the SEC hasn't even tried to serve him. But this can have an impact. This can have an impact on HEX. So let's take a look. Breaking: Grayscale wins SEC lawsuit for Bitcoin ETF review. The appeals court said the SEC's decision to reject the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF application was arbitrary and capricious in its ruling. Crypto asset manager Grayscale has scored a major victory in the United States Securities and Exchange Commission in its efforts to convert its over-the-counter GR Bitcoin Trust application into a listed Bitcoin ETF. Previously, the SEC rejected its GBTC application on grounds that the products were not designed to prevent fraudulent and manipulative acts and practices. Grayscale subsequently sued, and the decision has been overturned. Cool. So the Grayscale ETF is a go. Sun and Shine, I think he's the CEO of Grayscale. The DC Circuit Court ruled in favor of Grayscale in our lawsuit challenging the SEC's decision to deny GBTC's conversion into an ETF. Thank you to everyone who has been on this journey with us, especially our investors. We are grateful for your support. So, wow. And that's really the problem that the SEC is having with pretty much everyone that it's in court with, is that everything's very arbitrary. Like, there's not really consistency and there's not clear guidelines. So rulings in court, sort of create guidelines and hopefully consistency with precedent. So that's really good. That's probably why we see the bullish price action. Bitcoin is now above 27. I think it's at 27,500. I think that's really cool. And everything's really going according to the cycle. We're at Bitcoin right now is at $27,879. How about that? What about Ethereum? Ethereum is $1,700. But all the alts are wrecked, okay? All the alts are down like crazy from their all-time highs. Not all of them are dealing with an SEC lawsuit, the likes of HEX and PulseChain. But that tells you, so like maybe people worry that, HEX is down more, but it is down more compared to a lot of the especially the blue chip altcoins. But at the same time, it's dealing with a lot more stuff, a lot more uncertainty and things like that. And probably if there was no SEC lawsuit, it wouldn't be down as much as many of the altcoins. So it tells you that you shouldn't be panicking now, okay? I mean, everything's really going how it's been going, and there's no reason to think otherwise, especially with the rulings that we're getting in courts. Look at XRP. It got a very favorable ruling, and it's looking like maybe it's not going to get appealed. So that's really good. That's a very good precedent for HEX. Let's take a look here at XRP. Okay, the SEC is considering appealing it. Oh, they're appealing, but some people are even saying it will be denied. Been learning a lot about law. So yeah, I mean that's very good. That's very good. That's a great precedent. That could really, if it's denied by November 28th, I mean that's huge. That's huge. So that's really good. And obviously this Grayscale SEC ETF deny being overruled is very good. So everything's very good, and everything is really setting the groundwork for the scheduled bull market in 2024 when you have the Bitcoin happening. So yeah, when do you panic? You never panic. You never panic. You never invest more than you could afford to lose. But you could start being worried when there's massive returns from the altcoins and HEX and PulseChain remain low or continue to decline. but I highly doubt that's going to happen. Just look at what's happening. It's going up a lot right now, as is the rest of the market. So that's really nice to see. And I would like to see a relisting on OKX and obviously listing on other exchanges. But that's the good thing about the SEC case, is that if won, it really gives the green light for that sort of stuff to happen. So stay tuned, guys. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. As far as Richard Hart's Twitter account, is there anything really going on? I don't think he's tweeted since then. Him or his team or whatever have not tweeted since then. So that's what's expected. That's what happens when you are on trial. You don't speak. Anything you say can be held against you in a court of law. So that's just what's happening. That's par for the course. You guys have to deal with it. But yeah, you like to see the positive price action and the positive developments. So it's nice to have a good day for once. Hopefully this will continue. It's almost September, so that brings us at 4 months until 2024, and I think that's really when things are really going to get nice. But everything that I said, I remember I had the whiteboard thing just saying to like the mindset for the next 6 months, which took place in June, and it's holding up. No new all-time highs. I said all the pumps will be short-lived. No new all-time highs. A lot of sideways action, and there was some downside action, but it's now looking sideways because the price is up. So just the time to really dollar cost average and stay in the game, and that's how it's been working. I think that's how it's going to continue to work. I'll say about this bottom, whatever, even if the bottom's in, which it can very well be in, it still doesn't mean you're going all-time highs. There's still going to be a lot of short-lived, disappointing pumps, and there's going to be a lot of painful dumps. But that's the accumulation zone, right? That's the accumulation zone. So that's really it. That's really it for today. Not much else to talk about. Not much other news. I mean, there's been some infighting, but I don't want to talk about it. You know, that's for whoever's involved, all the parties involved to figure out. I am a big supporter of the PulseTube. Okay, big shout out to the PulseTube. They stuck with me through the entire HEX thing, I think. And DJ Cryptomatic, big shout out to DJ Cryptomatic. He came on the show when a lot of people didn't want to come on the show. So I just want to express my gratitude and appreciation to the PulseTube, and I want to express my gratitude and appreciation to DJ Cryptomatic of the What the Hex stream. But actually, let me see if I'm still on the PulseTube. I'm pretty sure I'm still on there. PulseTube. Yeah, that's right. Wow, we got to plug this. I'm on the front of the PulseTube. Big shout out to the PulseTube. Let's take a look here. Look at that. Look at that. thepulsetube.com. Furu Finance at the top. Big much love to the PulseTube. I got to show the PulseTube more, honestly. I stand by the PulseTube. I think they're doing a great job. I think they're doing some great work. I love the PulseTube. I'm a big fan of DJ Cryptomatic. I think he does a great job. He even makes sure to moderate not just the live chat, but also the comment section, because there's a lot of spammers and scammers. So he asked me to make him a managing mod so he could take care of that, and he's been taking care of that. So he's been preventing you guys from getting scammed. So we have to give a big shout out to DJ Cryptomatic at DJ_Cryptomatic on Twitch. Are you guys following him on Twitch? You guys should be following him on Twitch. But a big shout out to the PulseTube. Much love. You know, that's a good example of healthy discourse, of people that can, you know, embrace people that they even disagree with. I'm sure a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people that, you know, are in charge at the PulseTube didn't agree with me on HEX, but they still listed me. Okay. And that's really admirable. You know, I think that's really something that's the quality of people that you want to associate yourselves with. You know, people that maybe could disagree with you, but they're still willing to, you know, get along with you. So that's really awesome. Really appreciate that. And it makes it's a big deal. It's a big deal. You can have this one-stop shop where you can see everyone that's streaming or every stream that happened recently. I think that's a really big deal. Look at that right there. Boom. So much appreciation. They also, I think this was because of me, but they made a shorts section because I was the shorts guy. So I think they made a short section because of me, and I think that's really good. It also drives engagement, you know, on YouTube and stuff like that. And I remember I was watching Crypto Sevens, like, who needs the PulseTube? You know, you could just search it on YouTube. No, we need the PulseTube. We need the one-stop shop at the PulseTube. So I stand with the PulseTube. Let me tweet this out. Let me X this out. I stand in solidarity with at the Pulse Tube and at DJ Cryptomatic. We need the PulseTube. Thank you for even through. Thank you for listing me. Even through. We have to thank you for listing me throughout the duration. Duration of this channel. Shout out to the PulseTube. Yeah. It's important to stand by people that do good work, because if people that do good work aren't supported, then they're going to stop doing good work. And it's all done for free, and it's all really important. So big shout out to the PulseTube. Big shout out to DJ Cryptomatic. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have any questions. Now's the time, okay? That guy just seems mad because he's not on the site. Yeah. Why is he not on the site? I don't know. They must have a reason. Thanks, CryptoX. You deserve it. You've been consistent when many other streamers have just dropped out. Yeah. It's true. A lot of streamers have dropped out, and maybe they have their reasons and maybe they don't. But this is the time to be streaming, folks. You know, it's not needed when the price goes up, because the price speaks for itself and everybody wants to stream then. So there's plenty of content for everyone to really consume. But at these times when the price is down, you know, I mean, it's really frustrating. Like when you search HEX search filter today and you can't find any new content, or you can't find any content of quality. So it really means a lot to people when you could be there for them, even when the price is down or when not much is happening. I think it really means a lot to people, and people could really appreciate it. And that's why I'm doing it now. Maybe I'll take a break and a vacation when we're at $1.50. because you guys aren't even going to need me, right? I mean, you will need me, and I need you. Okay, we need each other. But the point is that yeah, I mean, it's not as necessary, because I remember when the Hex price was up and when most people were getting onboarded, you just search Hex and there's tons and tons of new content and clips and live streams every single day. So, I mean, it doesn't matter as much, but now it matters, right? We're in it for the glory. So, I hope you guys appreciate that. And I hope you guys know I really appreciate you guys, okay? Because when I stream, I get a nice viewership, and that's nice. That's nice. I don't want to be streaming in front of, 5-10 people. I remember in the beginning of this channel, I was getting like 7 concurrent viewers. Like when it went to the tens, it was like, wow. And then like we had Johnny Chaos on and we got like 70 or something. But like right now we're at 75 in the max pain, which is really cool. So I appreciate you guys. And I'm gonna remember this when the price gets higher. I'm gonna remember the people that were there. And a lot of people left for the EHEX thing. And but a lot of people stayed. So appreciate you guys. So really means a lot to me. And we're going to war together, guys. We're at war together. That's what it is. That's what we're at right now. I mean, this is war in a non-violent way, but just the price being this down, people are getting shot down left and right. You see, like a lot of streamers are just done. They couldn't make it. It's like that meme that the Pulse, what's the channel called? Pulse memes or something. Pulse Doge Elon, whatever, with the Saving Private Ryan. That's sort of what it feels like. You have everyone on the boat, and then the door opens and everybody charges the beaches, and people are just going down left and right. And that's really what happened. I think that's in a way what happened this morning with Crypto 7. I mean, he's not an exclusive Hex Pulse chain content creator, and maybe he comes back, maybe he doesn't, but I mean, he's taken the path that a lot of people have taken. A lot of people have said it outright, and a lot of people just ghosted and stopped posting, and a lot of people just sort of stopped really putting Hex on their thumbnails. They're talking about other things, and whatever. That's fine. It is what it is, but it's not the same. You gotta be in it through thick and thin. And this is the kind of thing this is the kind of person the kind of attitude that's needed to make it in crypto. You have to be able to really go against everything. And that's really what's happening now. I mean, I feel it, and I'm sure you guys feel it too. I think this is not just me. I'm sure all you guys feel it, whether it's your friends, your wives, your kids, parents. They're telling you to give up. So does that guarantee that you're going to be rich? Absolutely not. But because there are just so many that don't make it, but it's the kind of attitude required. It's the kind of mindset required. It's a very independent thinker and somebody who's really able to go against the herd. So that's really what it is. And it seems so simple. And when the price comes back, which I believe it will, it's going to have seemed so simple to everyone in retrospect. Like, of course, what do you mean? You just put in a couple $100, then you have a couple 100,000. You're sitting on a couple hundred, like the risk reward thing. It's like such an obvious thing. You should have bought Bitcoin when it was $8. You just put like $50 in, right? Da Vinci said, just buy one Bitcoin. It's like, no, nobody thinks that. There's the prospect of continued price action to the downside forever. There's the prospect of zero. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to touch it. Okay. So this is what's required, and it's really fun. And we're getting rewarded today a little bit with the price action, but who's realizing it? I mean, nobody's selling now. I mean, we all want at least $1. And that's why I think Hex is going to go so high, because everyone holding now has high expectations. And high expectations means you're not selling till it goes high, you know? So that's really what's happening. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel, okay? We're live every day at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Turn on your bell notifications and things like that. Bob Stutz, big shout out to Bob. It's a risk. It's a risk to reward, no risk, no reward. Simple as that, you know. And is it really that risky? Is cryptocurrency really that risky if it's approached the way it should be? And what do I mean by that? In crypto, 100x, 1000x, they happen. They happen very frequently relative to, you know, every other asset class. So if you put in $1,000 and it does 100x, that's $100,000. Is $1,000 like high risk? And I know everyone says this, but it's important to highlight that. Like, you could lose 1,000 or you can make $1 million. You know, so I think when used properly, it's not really high risk at all. You know, I mean, when approached properly, it should never leverage crypto ever. Everybody that thought 2-cent hex was the bottom and took out loans and sold stuff, I mean, they're down insane amount. So I think it's important never to leverage, but if you're cash positive and you have income and things like that, $500 can have eternal upside, and that's something you can't say about anything else really. So it's only high risk if you approach it improperly. So I hope no one is, right? And Wild SJ is here. Appears. What's going on with Wild SJ? Wait, how do I do it? How does the heart go? Is it like this? No, that's not. Forget how she does it. Big shout out to Wild SJ. She's been doing some great work, and she's been around. So appreciate her. We gotta get her back on the stream. We did a wonderful stream. We gotta get her back on the stream. Furu is a senior in crypto years. Nope, not yet. That's the problem. No one respects me. I'm the young one. So it comes with the territory. Hopefully soon. Caleb Brantley says you're right to a certain extent, but it's all a Ponzi. At the end of the day, you have to sell at some point. Some people lose, some people win. Well, in Bitcoin, you never really had to sell at a certain point. I mean, right? Usually, well, this is all dependent on whether you're in the right one. You know, if you're in the right crypto, right? People think like, oh yeah, it's a Ponzi because everyone's just selling it to the next person. But if you're in the right crypto, everybody that buys and holds wins. The only people that lose are the people that sell to the next person, right? Because there's always more money coming in. Like, that's just the paradigm that we're in. There's always more money. That's why the stock market always goes up. There's always more money. So it could always go higher, you know? So I think that's really the difference. And a lot of people just never sell. I mean, you could borrow against your Bitcoin. Well, I mean, maybe not the best idea with the counterparty risk, but with DeFi, you could borrow against your crypto and never sell. If you borrow against Ethereum at 800 and Ethereum goes to 20,000, your margin, you could keep on, if you don't take any more money out, you never have to pay back the loan, really. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. It all depends on future price action, but we'll have to see. You think the more likely the HEX price will go up, will go to infinity or to zero? I don't know. Maybe it goes to zero in like 30 years. Nah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe eventually everything dies eventually. I mean, how many publicly traded companies from like 1900 are still around now? There are a few that are, though. So I hope it's one of them. But if you're talking about statistically speaking, from based on the numbers, any crypto that you look at, it's more likely that it'll go to zero. But I think HEX is the exception, right? So I think that it can be one of those things that is revolutionary and maybe always goes up. I mean, maybe the way that we look at it in 20 years from now will be very different from the way we look at it now. I mean, maybe it can be one of those things that's sort of ubiquitous with the financial industry, that every major institution associates with. It's an option. It's like Bitcoin now is not even there yet, but like they're starting to get warmed up to it. But like maybe it's something that people put into high yield certificate of deposit on the blockchain. I don't know. I hope it will. But I think within the next, people are in it for 15 years. So good price action, the more it's around, the more likely it is to stay around. So good price action means that people have a lot invested for a long time. So that means there's a bigger community. So more money comes in, more people invest. Yeah, I think it could do really, really well, even in a long time horizon. But it's all dependent on this bull market, and a lot of it's dependent on the SEC and stuff. But we'll see what happens. There is no in between. That is true. There is no in between. I don't like this. It's going to stay at 3 cents, at like maybe 15 cents, or but no, because people want to see upside in crypto. But I think if it's around in 15 years, it's probably going to, then you have people making ladders in 15 years for 15 years. Price is higher. The yield payout is better than traditional finance. Maybe it's around forever. Who knows? Let's get a nice bull market, okay? Can we get a nice bull market? Can we get another 1000x within the next 2 years, and then we could talk. But I think it's definitely something that's very special and very innovative, which is not really the case with most blockchains, most cryptos. I mean, most of them don't really bring anything new to the table. So we'll see. But let's focus on these next couple of years. I think that's pivotal. A Wild SJ says, streaming later, give a refresh on cute heart face. So all 70 of you people watching now should be watching Wild SJ later today and be subscribed. So big shout out to her. But how did it go? I think. I don't know. I forget how to do it. Not going to embarrass myself. All right. Yeah, that's it for today. Smash like button, subscribe, positive feedback loop. Rigmar says you should add a INC sign behind you. No, because I'm not buying any of that. I'm not buying INC. I called the INC top on the day. Look at the day or the day after the top when it was at like $75. I said I'm not biting the INC bait, and it's been down until now. Now it's not really a victory lap because everything's down, but every single time there's upside, there's less upside. It usually dumps more. Just checking gopulse.com every day. So I think people should be buying HEX and Pulse and maybe some Pulse X, but yeah, I can't diversify, man. I'm not wealthy. So HEX Pulse, you guys should all be joining the Patreon. Okay. You guys should all be in the Patreon. Links in the description. Get in the Patreon. Got some really good stuff there. And there's a weekly Zoom meeting every Sunday, 12 p.m. So you get the recording of that and you get to join live. So all that's in the Patreon. And there's coaching also. Links in the description. But INC is not one of my picks. I think it's just sort of a onboarding tool. That's what Dylan from Fiat said. Onboarding tool. It's something that's going to go up a lot. But who knows? I don't know. Maybe rising tide lifts all boats. Smash like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Have a great rest of your day.